Hi, I'm Victoria and this is part of a mini video series for surface pattern designers. In this video, I want to show you how to use the clipping mask in Illustrator. This is one of my favourite tools in Illustrator because it means that you can confine your pattern and your design or your mark making that you've been developing and edited in the software into a specific shape. And this is really lovely when you're trying to add a bit of depth to your design work. So let's get started.
In the previous video, we had a quick look at how you can convert your writing or an object or something you've drawn or taken a picture of from Photoshop into a vector image in Illustrator, and then just how to smooth out some of those edges by using the smooth tool. I've actually gone over it again, and you can see, for example, I've sort of smoothed this out and just get rid of some of those like jaggedy edges on that black. And then I've just recoloured the writing for the design that I want to work with. So once you've got your object that you want to use, I will always duplicate it, depending on if I want a background colour or not, to my clipped motif. Now you can go make your selection and then edit and copy. And then you can move that selection, edit and paste to make that copy. Now, I want this pattern to be in this writing. So I need to make sure the pattern is underneath the writing. So you can see that by the fact that the B is hiding that pattern underneath. And then I just kind of have a little look, move it around so I can kind of gauge that the letters have the patterning in that I want them to. And then once you're happy, if you select all, and then you can go Object, Clipping Mask, and Make. And you'll see that it is clipped that writing to the pattern. Now I'm just going to move that back over here. And you see it starts to show. Now I think I would go over it again and I would just get another sort of element there and another element in there just to help balance it out a little bit. So I'm going to go back and just selected the wrong shape. Command Z just to take you back a level. Make sure I select the right layer that I want to work with. And then you can go Edit, Object, Clipping Mask, Release. And it will release that. Now you'll see that writing is still there. I'm just going to actually move that little one there. And just if you use the mouse and just hover over, I actually want that. Let's move those. I think I might, plonk that there. And on the V, let's take those two there and we'll move those to roughly where that V was. Yeah, perfect, although I want them down just a tiny bit. And then once you're happy again, you make your selection. Just double check. Yeah, I think that's looking good. Now it hasn't selected that and I do want those in there. So I'm going to release that and create another selection just to make sure it's got all of those shapes in that I want. Yes, I think it does. And again, Object, Clipping Mask, Make. I actually think I might do that again and add some more into there. Let's take those two and just knock that in a little bit more. And it's just a matter of playing around with it until you get the right balance for the design that you're working on. Just make sure that There we are. Let's have a look. Right, I think that's going to be good. And again, make sure you select all the objects that you want clipped. Edit. Oh, no, sorry, object, clipping mask, make. There we are. And balance it over. Because I want that kind of rust colour to be in my background. You can, of course, always get a bit more creative and just kind of adjust it around the pattern, get a bit messy. It doesn't have to be really tight and controlled. Just depends on your overall look and what you want. I think for this, I want the pattern to stay within that writing. So I think I'm happy with it there. I'm going to go ahead now and play around and do the rest. And there you go. That's how you can add pattern to your lettering and use the clipping mask in Illustrator. If I was then going to take this design further, I would then introduce some more patterns, maybe more designs, have a bit of a background to that lettering. Use a transform just to add a bit of interest, a bit of difference, just to get creative and play around with it. Something that can work really nicely sometimes is really playing with the scale. If you really enlarge something and then maybe knock the opacity down a little bit, let's say 10%, sort of just create a really nice background to your design. So I hope you found those useful. Thanks ever so much.